Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the regular meeting of the Texarkana, Texas City Council. Today is Monday, April the 13th, 2026. We'd like to welcome all of you joining us in the audience this evening, as well as those who are joining us online. At this time, we'll move along with our agenda, and I'll ask the City Secretary, Ms. Jennifer Evans, to provide a roll call. Ms. Evans?
Mr. Metter?
Here.
Ms. Hart? Ms. Hart?
Here.
Ms. Page?
Here.
Mr. Davis?
Here.
Ms. Matlock?
Here.
Mr. Thompson?
We do have a full council this evening, and I will be leading the invocation and pledge. If everyone will please stand. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this beautiful day. We thank you for this beautiful time of the year when we celebrate spring with all of the flowers blooming and the grass growing and the animals running about and the butterflies flying around. It's just a beautiful time of the year. And Father, we ask that you guide our council this evening as we take the business of our citizens at hand, that you will provide us with good decisions. And we ask that you be with our public safety officers, also all of our city employees who work each and every day to serve our citizens, that you will keep them safe in their daily endeavors. And we ask that you forgive us from our sins. We ask these things in your Son's precious name. Amen.
Amen.
If you'll please face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. You may be seated. At this time, we'll call on Mr. David Coleman to provide us with our annual comprehensive financial report. Mr. Coleman, thank you for your time and being with us this evening, and we look forward to your comments, sir.
All right. Well, good evening. I'm sorry. It's a little close to it. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for allowing me to be here this evening. I am here to present the results of the September 30, 2025 audit. So we're going to talk a little bit about the ACFR and some financial highlights, just a couple of them, kind of our audit scopes, our future pronouncements that we have coming up, and then any questions that you may have. So as far as the ACFR itself goes, there's a lot of work that goes into that. I think is it up to 250 pages? It's close to 250 pages. It's made up of the introductory section, the financial section, the RSI, which accompanies the financials, the combining schedules in the back, and the statistical section in the back. So we have, like I said, we did complete that. Well, let's talk about a few financial highlights first. So I always talk about the general fund highlights. As you can see from this slide, your ending unassigned fund balance in the general fund was $21.7 million at year end. That's not your total, but your unassigned fund balance, which means spending at your discretion. So the GFOA, who kind of sets the standards for government finance officers for policy in public finance, establishes about a 20% fund balance is good. So you all are double that at 39%. So what that means is in unassigned fund balance, you have 40% of your expenditures for future expenditures. So a very healthy general fund balance. Also, as you know, the Texarkana Water Utilities, the Texas portion of that rolls up into your ACFR. As you can see, the operating revenues have increased from the past 3 years, and operating expenditures did not go up in accordance with the revenue, so they remained pretty steady throughout the year, but net operating revenue did go up. So pensions. So the city of Texarkana is in 4 different pension plans. One, the police TMRS, the city TMRS, TWU, the Texas side, and then the Fireman's Relief and Pension Retirement Fund. As you can see here, all of your pension plans performed well last year. All the TMRS plans are over 90% funded, and the Fireman's plan is 65% funded. So what that means is your total liability is $25 million here, like for the firemen. You have 20, and 22 million last year. So you have assets set aside to fund that 65%. The other ones are over 90%. The OPEB plan, we've talked about that in the past. That is your liability associated with medical benefits that you provide retirees. That remains steady from 1 year to the next at about $15.6 million. As far as audit scope and results, we did issue a clean, unmodified opinion on your financial statements. So I just want to talk about this for a minute. So Texas Senate Bill 1851, which requires all cities in Texas to issue their act for 180 days within year end. Not 6 months, 180 days. And so as on the 180th day, on that Friday night, we did issue your ACFR and file it with your city clerk. So you are in full compliance with the rules and laws from the state of Texas, from that AG. So congratulations on that. I think that's the first time you all have done that in several years. So good job on that. Report on internal control or financial reporting. It says pending on here, but we have issued that. That's just your internal controls over your financial reporting. The report on compliance for each major federal program. As you know, you do receive federal awards throughout the year, and we are required to audit a lot of that. It's a pretty detailed audit. This year we audited CDBG. There was one issue that came up on this program that we're working through. It involves reporting. So the rule is if you give money out to a subrecipient, you're required to go and do an electronic filing out on the FFATA website. So we are working through that. It doesn't look like that happened last year, but we have already talked to management, and they have procedures and policies in place to make sure that that's done going forward. So that's the current issue kind of pending on the CDBG grant. So as far as audit scope and results, in note 1, you'll see the significant accounting policies. There was no unusual policies or methods that we identified, no alternative accounting treatment that we identified. As far as estimates, so every set of financial statements has estimates in it, and we did apply a generally accepted auditing principles to those estimates, and we do think that they are materially correct. The allowance, the depreciation, pension liabilities, OPEB, compensated absences. So we did apply audit procedures to those and don't have any issues. As far as financial disclosures, the particularly sensitive ones would be contingent liabilities, net pension liabilities, OPEB, which we've talked about, and loss contingencies. There was no audit adjustments that we had. We do a couple entries to the financial statements in conjunction with the city involving those pension liabilities, SABITA liabilities, but we have no issues to report to you based on those. So future pronouncements, GASB 103 and GASB 104 coming up this year. One of them involves the financial reporting model. I don't think it's going to be super significant to the city of Texarkana, but we will need to apply those to next year's ACFR and GASB 104, which is kind of going to redo how we do capital assets and how they're presented in the ACFR. But overall, you did get the GFOA award last year, the Triple Crown, I think, the budget award and the ACFR. So congratulations to that, and job well done.
That deserves a round of applause.
Any questions?
Any questions for Mr. Coleman? Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time, appreciate the information and the good report. Moving along with our agenda this evening, we have some upcoming city council meetings. Our meeting for the month of May will be held on Monday, May the 11th, and our meeting in June will be held on Monday, June the 8th at 6 p.m. here in the council chambers. Several items coming up, reference to parks and recreation activities. April the 17th to the 25th is the National Professional Fishing League Tournament, and I do need to make an announcement about this particular event, and the announcement reads as follows. The NPFL tournament relocates to Lake Millwood due to low water levels in Texarkana at Lake Wright-Patman. Due to low water elevation at Wright-Patman Lake, the National Professional Fishing League, known as the NPFL, has made the decision to relocate its upcoming tournament to Lake Millwood in Ashdown, Arkansas. The NPFL organization and participating anglers will continue to engage with the Texarkana community through a variety of planned outreach efforts throughout the week, including a free public meet and greet at Spring Lake Park across from the Rotary Splash Pad on Wednesday, April the 22nd from 4 p.m. until 6 p.m. Attendees will have the opportunity to meet professional anglers, see their boats up close, and enjoy a fun, family-friendly atmosphere. The event will include autograph signings, photo opportunities, bounce houses, and yard games. Once again, that's April the 22nd from 4 p.m. at Spring Lake Park across from the Rotary Splash Pad. April the 18th and 19th, the Baseball Association of Texarkana, the Texarkana, Texas Rob Buck Memorial Woodbat Tournament will be held at Spring Lake Park at the Swanger Complex. April 25th and 26th, the 2D Texarkana Turf Battle Baseball Tournament at Spring Lake Park, Swanger Complex. May the 2nd, the Alzheimer Alliance 11th Annual Twice as Nice Wine Festival will be held at Spring Lake Park. Also on May the 2nd, the Farmers Market opens at 500 North State Line Avenue. That's in the downtown area within the shadows of our federal courthouse building. And then also May the 9th and 10th, we have the NCS Mother's Day Showdown on I-30, and it will be held at Spring Lake Park and the Swanger Complex. And another event I would like to share with you this evening, Mayor Brown from the Arkansas side, he and I are engaged in a friendly competition. So there's an event coming up this coming Saturday at 5 o'clock at Ramage Farms. It's in conjunction with the Texarkana Resources for the Disabled and the Running WJ Ranch. It's a fundraising effort, and there's a competition between Mayor Brown and I, and the loser of this competition, regrettably, has to kiss a pig. So I don't want to do that. So, and I'm glad to share with you, I am in the lead right now, and I hope that continues. So appreciate you can go to the Texarkana Resources for the Disabled website to learn more about the event and the competition. But once again, that's this coming Saturday at Ramage Farms, located just outside of Hooks, Texas. Additional Parks and Recreation information can be found on the city's website. And then also we have some upcoming events at the Pro Theater. The BTE will present Diamond Rio on April the 17th at 7:30 p.m. And then the Texarkana Symphony Orchestra will present Springing Forward on April the 25th at 7 p.m. Tickets for the Pro Theater shows are available at protheater.org. At this time, move along to our open forum, comments from the public. If there's anyone in the audience this evening who would like to address the council, you're welcome to do so. You will have up to 5 minutes to speak on any item. If you are here this evening and you're wanting to speak on behalf of one of our public hearing items, then I will ask if you'll please wait until we get to that particular item. We'd be more than happy to listen to your comments at that time. We also ask that you complete one of these sheets that can be found near the doors there, entry doors. And I do have 2 sheets that have been filled out. The first one is from Pastor Carey, and he would like to address the council in reference to homelessness. So, Pastor Carey, if you're in the audience, if you'll please come forward to the podium, and if you will, please state your name for the record. And we appreciate your being with us this evening at our council meeting.
Well, we greet you in divine love. This is Pastor Carey Williams, Oak Street, Texarkana. Great to be here tonight. I bring you greetings from KJW Full Gospel Ministry, here where I serve as senior pastor. I wanted to come to introduce myself because I have a concern about the homeless here in Texas. I had a heart. I've been doing this for 17 years, and I have a heart for the people in the community. We just don't have enough places to hold the homeless people. Randy Savage is a homeless place. but we don't have places for our people. They don't provide meals for them. They have to go across the street every day to eat, and it's really sad during the day, and you have to be in by 6 o'clock, and if it's raining, you don't have no place to go. And I'm asking the council to join me, and I'm going to be meeting with the mayor pretty soon. But I have a heart for this city. That's why I moved from Louisiana. The Lord told me to move from Louisiana to be here. I respect the city council, and I've been doing this for 17 years. But I have a heart for the people of this city. And when I see that, it breaks my heart. It makes me want to cry, because I once was homeless. I once was sleeping in abandoned buildings. I once was sleeping in cars. And it is sad, and I'm honored for the city council to join me. And I'll be talking again with the mayor and giving opportunities to see what we can do and how we can fix this problem, so we won't have to put homeless people in jail. We won't have to put homeless people behind bars for breaking in when they get cold. There's a homeless issue, and I'm here to help the people of this city once again, so we won't have to put our young people, or we won't have to put old folks in jail for trying to break in a place to stay warm. It gets really cold, I understand, here, and homeless is very, very special to my heart. And I wanted to come tonight to share this with the council, share this with our mayor. I honor him, I honor this council. I think you're doing a fantastic job, council members. And I look forward to serving with you. Look forward to being on your team as soon as possible. Thank you so much. They also have another event coming up. I think I have flyers there with the city council. There is another event that this church is putting on this weekend. Encourage y'all to stop by to show support to this community, and we love for y'all to come. Thank you, Mayor, and I'll be calling you soon.
Okay. All right, very good. Thank you, Pastor.
Pastor, I do have a question. Excuse me. Excuse me. Have you reached out to Randy Sams to speak with the staff there about your questions? Or
I have, and they, for us, I know there has been ugly to the homeless people.
Okay. I might be able to help you reach out and get some solutions. I don't know, but there is that available, and I'd be happy to meet with you and the mayor whenever that meeting happens, because my ward does include the downtown area, and I'd be happy to meet with you and anybody else.
Well,
And I can probably facilitate a meeting with Randy Sams as well.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Pastor. Thank you, Councilmember Thompson. All right. I do have one other form that's filled out by Kayla, is it G-A-I-L-S, Gales? And it's, Ms. Gales, or where are you located? Okay. And is your reference item in result of a general comment from the public, or is it pertain to one of our public hearing items? Okay, so since you fill out a form, I do want to recognize you. So do you want to postpone your comments until we get to that public hearing item? And that's not timed. This particular portion of the agenda is timed. Okay. So you'll just wait till then? Okay, that's fine. Just wanted to check with you on that. Okay. Is there anyone else who'd like to address the council this evening? All right. If not, we'll move along with our agenda. At this time, move along to appointments to boards and commissions. Do we have any appointments to boards and commissions? Mr. Davis?
I do have a reappointment. This is for the Building and Standards Commission, and that's going to be Colton Langford.
Okay, Mr. Langford. All right. Are there any others?
I have a reappointment also, Carolyn Moore to the Building and Standards Commission.
Okay, Carolyn Moore to Building and Standards. Okay, are there any others?
I have two reappointments myself to the Building and Standards Commission, Matthew Hackworth and Zachary Penna. Mr. Zachary.
Mr. Zachary, okay. So-
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. All right, and then, Council, I do have, these are some of my appointments. This pertains to, first, the Tex America Center Board. I'd like to reappoint Mr. Kevin Avery to the Tex America Center Board, and then also to the Village Communities of Texarkana, formerly known as the Housing Authority Board. I would like to reappoint Melva Flowers as Commissioner, Louis George as Commissioner, Craig Manning as Commissioner, Jonathan Paxton as Resident Commissioner, and then I would like to appoint Robert Davis to fill the vacancy left by Joanne Rice. Joanne Rice served on this board for many, many years and has decided to step down from the board. Mr. Davis is a former board member of this board. I think he was serving as ex officio board member in the capacity there, and so I'd like to appoint him to the board. Once again, that's Robert Davis. Are there any other appointments or reappointments this evening? If not, I will entertain a motion for approval. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilmember Thompson and a second by Councilmember Page. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. At this time, move along to our items for consideration. We do have several items this evening on the consent agenda. Item 1 is to consider approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of the City Council held on March the 9th, 2026. And Council, before I read consent items 2, 3, and 4, I would like to state that the next 3 agenda items on consent, these items do need council approval, but they do not involve Texas funds and therefore are being at no cost to our cities. I want to make sure I made you aware of that. So item 2 is resolution number 2026-039, approving the Texarkana Regional Airport Executive Director to execute an agreement with Garver Engineering and to administer the demolition of the Juvenile Detention Center in an amount not to exceed $82,100 and to seek bids to demolish the Juvenile Detention Center in an amount not to exceed $317,900 to be paid from a 50-50 grant from the Arkansas Division of Aeronautics and to execute documents necessary to obtain a 50-50 grant from the Arkansas Division of Aeronautics. Item 3, resolution number 2026-051, approving the Texarkana Regional Airport Executive Director to execute a no-cost lease agreement with the Federal Aviation Administration, the FAA, for land for the FAA Aviation Navigational Aids for a period of 50 years. Item 4, resolution number 2026-040, approving the Texarkana Regional Airport Executive Director to execute an agreement with Garver Engineering to administer the widening of taxiway B as in boy, taxiway D as in David, and a conversion of runway 13 in an amount not to exceed $773,200, which cost will be paid from a grant obtained from the Federal Aviation Administration, and matching funds will be paid by the Arkansas Division of Aeronautics. Item number 5, resolution number 2026-043, approving the purchase of switching equipment from Tier 4 Technologies of Texarkana, Texas, with budgeted funds in an amount not to exceed $75,000. Item number 6, resolution number 2026-046, approving the submission of the 2026 Homeland Security grant application to purchase 6 mobile radios in an amount not to exceed $52,552.88. Item number 7, resolution number 2026-047, ratifying 4 change orders in the total amount of $58,037.43 with Symmetry Sports for baseball and soccer complex construction projects. Item number 8, resolution number 2026-050, authorizing the city manager to execute a contract with Stan Excavating of Texarkana, Texas, in an amount not to exceed $2,607,800 $844.75 for the Waco Street Reconstruction Project, with funds budgeted in the 2022 Bond Fund, Fund 425. Unless a council member would like to pull one or more items for further consideration, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as it has been presented. Is there a motion for approval?
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Matlock, a second by Councilmember Hart. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The consent agenda has been approved. We'll now move along to our action items. We do have 4 items pertaining to action items for council consideration this evening. Item number 1 is resolution number 2026-042, establishing a loan committee to review all applications for loans from funded and active programs managed by the city. And Daphne Ryan is going to brief the council on this item before we move forward with it. Good evening, Daphne.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This agenda item is to establish a city loan committee. The city administers multiple funding sources that provide low-interest loans to support economic development and redevelopment initiatives. These programs are included but not limited to the EPA Brownfields Revolving Loan Fund, CDBG's Section 108 loans, and facade improvement loans. Collectively, these financing tools play a critical role in advancing strategic investment, revitalization, and community development objectives. So to ensure consistent, transparent, and fiscally responsible administration of these loan programs, this loan committee is recommended. This committee will be comprised of 6 external members and 1 alternate, with professionals such as commercial lenders, economic development professionals, civil engineers. The chief financial officer serves as a permanent member of this committee, and of course, we have one legal counsel representative on the committee as well. If approved, a consent agenda item will be presented at the next council meeting to terminate an old ordinance, Ordinance 097-2012, which originally established just the EPA Revolving Loan Committee. This new committee established by this resolution will cover all loans-related activity. Staff is currently developing a list of potential committee members for council consideration at a future council meeting.
Very good. Any questions for Daphne relating to this item? Okay, thank you for the information.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right. Any other questions or comments from the council on this item? All right, if not, is there a motion for approval of the resolution?
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilmember Hart. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Thompson. This item pertains to a resolution, so there's not a caption. All those in,
Is this coming up for tonight? Okay. It says public hearing 511 on the agenda.
It is for tonight, and I'm looking at the posted agenda. We must have a different copy.
Action item.
Okay.
yeah, item 1 under action.
Okay.
No public hearing was
Okay.
was
All right.
noticed.
Good then.
Okay. But then, as Daphne mentioned, there will be an item on the consent agenda at the next
Gotcha.
meeting pertaining to the elimination of the previous ordinance. Okay, so we have a motion by Councilmember Hart, and we have a second by Councilmember Thompson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The resolution passes. Item number 2 is resolution number 2026-044, approving the purchase of a building at 1423 Main Street, Texarkana, Texas, with funds in the amount of $188,133, with the Texas portion being $114,441.30 in the Texarkana Water Utilities Capital Improvement Fund for the location of the Information Technology Department, which provides services and support for the cities of Texarkana, Texas, and Texarkana, Arkansas, and Texarkana Water Utilities. And Brenda Nusselton with TWU is here to brief us with more information pertaining to this item. Good evening, Brandon.
Evening, Mayor and Council. We started a look for a new facility shortly before Halloween, kind of with a hope and a prayer. And the stars have aligned for us a little bit with this facility. It's significantly bigger than where we're currently housed on 808 Olive. And this would future-proof sizing for the the city's IT department, as well as give up our existing office space back to the water utility, which is in desperate need for more room as well. Since we moved into our current facility in 2016, the IT department has grown by 4 employees, and the GIS department for the water utility, which is also in the same building as the IT department, has grown by 2 employees. So things are a little tight. We got folks in some tiny offices, and we're tripping over equipment. And
Any questions for Brandon? And this building is located directly behind the T-line transfer station, main building there at 14th and Texas. So building looks like it's still in very, very good condition. And so I think that'll be an excellent location for you all to be in. So any other comments or questions for Brandon? Okay, thank you, sir. All right.
thank you.
Appreciate your time. All right, is there a motion for approval of the resolution?
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilmember Davis. Is there a second? Second by Councilmember Page. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The resolution passes unanimously. Item number 3 is resolution number 2026-048, authorizing the city manager to execute a Chapter 380 Economic Development Incentive Agreement with Lindum Solutions for a commercial development project located at Summerhill Road and Moores Lane, with incentives in an amount not to exceed $565,150. And our city manager, Dr. David Orr, is going to provide the council with additional information on this item. Good evening, Dr. Orr.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So the Summerhill Road and Moores Lane development is a multi-phase commercial project that's exceeding $18 million. It's expected to create at least 30 full-time jobs with a minimum annual salary of $50,000 and above. The project includes significant private investment, infrastructure improvements, stormwater management, and a detention pond. The agreement provides for performance-based property tax rebates, job creation incentives from our Economic Development Fund, that's Fund 223, and a water infrastructure reimbursement from Texarkana Water Utilities. With that, I'll be glad to answer any questions that you may have.
Questions for Dr. Orr? Okay, thank you, sir. Appreciate your information. All right, is there a motion for approval of the resolution? We have a motion by Councilmember Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Metter. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The resolution passes. Item number 4 is resolution number 2026-053, approving amendment number 1 to development agreement with ATFAB LLC and finding and determining before completing annexation proposed by development agreement that's surrounding an approximate 5-acre tract, 3704 Cooper Lane, in the George Brindley Headright Survey, A-18, with the city's corporate limits is in the public interest. Our city attorney, Mr. Jeff Lewis, is going to provide some information to the council on this item. Good evening, Mr. Lewis.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. About 3 years ago, the council approved a development agreement with the landowner for a process of annexation and residential development and development requirements during the process before annexation. In the process of working on this development in 2 phases, the owner originally agreed to have proposed zoning for multifamily 1 for the first phase and single family for the second phase. Over the past few years, the owner requested, and city staff has recently reviewed and concurs, to match the zoning for both. In other words, to change phase 2 zoning from single family to multifamily 1. So that's the first part of this resolution, a proposed amendment just to match the phase 2 zoning to phase 1. And in the packet, there is included a revised phase 2 mock-up or drawing for the development. The second part leads to proposed annexation circumstances. This is not an annexation ordinance, but this is in preparation for such. In the process of bringing this particular tract into the city limits, in your packet and in the graphic that's displayed, that will result in encircling an approximate 5-acre tract off of Cooper Lane. This particular tract is a single-family house. The owners have been approached and declined to voluntarily be annexed. So to honor those wishes, we need to make findings according to a local government code procedure. In this context, the recommended findings to the council would include that this property, consistent with the development agreement, consistent with the council's resolution 3 years ago, the ATFAB property is needed for housing in the city. That encircling this particular area with the city limits, it will not interfere with the owner's use of the property. It will not interfere with county services to the property. Given the fact that it is adjacent to and directly off of Cooper Lane, there's nothing in the way of the property. So it's not as if we're isolating this property as an island unto itself. In that context, this particular finding is necessary for the council to proceed, if it so chooses, with an annexation ordinance, and city staff recommends for approval. Be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Lewis? Okay, very good. Any comments or questions by the council? If not, is there a motion for approval of the resolution?
So moved.
Motion by Councilmember Thompson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Hart. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Resolution passes unanimously. This concludes our action items section of the meeting. We'll now move along to our first briefings. We do have a total of 6 first briefing items this evening. 2 of those items are related, which would be items 4 and 5. So when we get to those, I will read both of those captions together. And so item number 1 is ordinance number 2026-054, approving the voluntary annexation by petition of landowner of an approximate 7.98 acre tract of land, 11.5 acre tract of land in the George Brindley Headright Survey A-18, 3600 to 3701 Cooper Lane, to the city limits of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, and specifying a multiple family dwelling district, MF-1 zoning district classification, ATFAB LLC owner. Mr. Lewis, I think you have some additional information to share with us on this item.
Thank you, Mayor, council members. Everything I said for the prior item, plus, if the council so chooses to annex this property, it would be brought in and annexed to Ward 5. The property services, according to the annexation ordinance, would be that the council has already agreed to provide in the development agreement that the council just amended 2.5 minutes ago. Typical city services will include fire, police, et cetera. The owner has already acknowledged that water and sewer are already available to the property. Public hearing would be scheduled for this for the May meeting, and it will be publicly noticed with a newspaper publication of the proposed form for annexation to be provided. Questions?
Any questions from Mr. Lewis? So as a reminder, on our first briefing items this evening, so all of these items that we'll be going over under the category of first briefings will have public hearings at our next council meeting on May the 11th. Item number 2 is ordinance number 2026-055, granting a specific use permit to allow one additional use of an off-premise outdoor advertising sign or billboard on Lot 1A, Arklatex Realty subdivision, located at 4610 Gus Orr Drive in Ward 4. Joel Orr, owner, Chad Ship, agent, and Michelle Daniel is here this evening, and she will be briefing us on this item as well as the upcoming items under first briefings. Good evening, Michelle.
Good evening, Mayor, and good evening, Council. So this is a request for a specific use permit to allow an off-premise billboard at 4610 Gus Orr Drive. The property is zoned general retail. The future land use map has designated this property as regional commercial. The adjacent zoning is general retail to the north, west, and east, Interstate 30 to the south. The adjacent land usage is parking to the north, vacant property west, I-30 south, and a car lot to the east. A specific use permit is required to allow an off-premise billboard in the general retail zoning district. This billboard was approved in the past, but the applicant wants to move it to a different lot. Planning and zoning did recommend for approval, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Michelle on this item? Okay. We'll now move along to item number 2. Do we have a number 2? 3. Item number 3. I'm sorry. We did 1 and 2. I apologize. We're on item 3. Ordinance number 2026-056, rezoning Lot 2, H&T minor plat, Block 111, George Brindley Headright Survey A-18 located in the 4900 block of McKnight Road in Ward 4 from Single Family 1 to Plan Development Office, Jasper Howard Estate, owner and Richard Reynolds agent. As a reminder to council, a 3/4 vote of the council is required to approve this request. I'll turn it over to Michelle.
Good evening again. So this is a request to rezone the 4900 block of McKnight Road from Single Family 1 to Plan Development Office. The use is proposed offices. The future land use map has designated this property as neighborhood retail. The adjacent zoning is Single Family 2 to the north, Single Family 1 to the west and south, and agriculture to the east. The adjacent land use is residential to the north, south, west, and east. This item was brought to the Planning and Zoning Commission in March as a zoning change, and it was denied. And so therefore, the applicant came back with a separate application in April to add a plan development to the zoning request change. Planning and Zoning also denied that request because they did not feel an office or business should go at this location due to the surrounding residential properties. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for Michelle on this item? Okay. Moving along now to item numbers 4 and 5. These items are related, so I'm going to read them together. Item number 4 is ordinance number 2026-060, rezoning an approximate 25.169 acre tract of land, being tract 95 S.S. James Headright Survey A-306, located in the 1000 block of South Bishop in Ward 2, from Plan Development Commercial to Plan Development Industrial. Russell Huckabee owner, Zach Mowry agent. Item number 5, ordinance number 2026-061, amending to PD 23-4 for site plan approval on an approximate 25.169 acre tract of land, being tract 95 S.H. James Headright Survey A-306, located in the 1000 block of South Bishop in Ward 2. Russell Huckabee owner, Zach Mowry agent. Michelle?
Thanks again. So this is a request to rezone a tract of land in the 1000 block of South Bishop from Plan Development Commercial to Plan Development Industrial 1 and for site plan approval. The future land use map has designated this property as floodplain and industrial. The adjacent zoning is agriculture and multiple family 1 to the north, outside the city limits to the south, industrial 1 to the west, and I-369 to the east. The adjacent land use is a church to the north, vacant lots to the south and west, and I-369 to the east. The proposed use is a manufacturer of modular homes. The site plan consists of the construction of a 81,800 square foot building. The access driveway will be off of South Bishop Road. A screen dumpster location will be west of the delivery yard. Any lighting should be downward facing as to not reflect on the residential properties. There will be a 6-foot by 8-foot monument style sign, and screening will be required between the non-residential zoning and residential properties. The development also must comply with all the applicable codes and ordinances, and Planning and Zoning approved of the rezoning and site plan request, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
I know exactly where this location is, so Michelle, remind me, where will the access point be to this property? How will they access it?
I believe off of South Bishop Road.
Okay. Okay, because it's right along the loop there, so.
Right, and any, of course, changes to the driveway will require TxDOT approvals, so they will have to go through TxDOT for changes to that driveway.
Any questions for Michelle on items 4 and 5? Okay. Now, we'll now move along to item number 6, ordinance number 2026-062, amending PD-15-9 for site plan approval on an approximate 1.2 acre tract of land, being tract 66A, George Brindley Headright Survey A-18, located at 4323 McKnight Road, Ward 4, Torrin Maracino, owner, and Joe Cruz, agent. Michelle?
So as you said, this is a request for site plan approval at 4323 McKnight Road. The current zoning is planned development general retail. The future land use map designates this property as neighborhood retail. The adjacent zoning is planned development general retail to the north, south, and west, and office to the east. The adjacent land use is vacant land to the north, south, and west, and an office to the east. The proposed use is a dental office. The site plan consists of the construction of a 4,354 square foot building. The access driveway would be off of McKnight Road and Pavilion Parkway. There will be a 6-foot by 8-foot monument-style sign and a screened dumpster site in the northeast corner. The development also must comply with all applicable codes and ordinances. Planning and zoning did recommend for approval of this request, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Questions for Michelle on this item? Okay, all right, thank you very much. Appreciate the information this evening. This concludes our first briefings portion of the agenda. We'll now move along to our public hearings this evening. And we do have a total of like 10 public hearings scheduled for this evening. So we'll get started with item number 1, ordinance number 2026-009, adopting the 2024 International Building Codes, including certain amendments, modifications, deletions, and appendix. At this time, we'll declare the public hearing open on this item. If there's anyone who would like to address the council, if you'll please come forward and state your name for the record. Not seeing anyone coming forward at this time, we'll declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance?
So moved.
Motion by Councilmember Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Metter. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending and updating the Code of Ordinances of the City of Texarkana, Texas, Chapter 105, Buildings and Construction, Article 2, Division 2, Building Code, Sections 105-75 through 105-77, with the 2024 edition of the International Building Code, including certain modifications, deletions, and appendices, providing for publication, providing for repealer and severability clauses, containing legislative findings, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ordinance passes. Item number 2 is ordinance number 2026-010, adopting the 2024 International Residential Code, including certain amendments, modifications, deletions, and appendices. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing open on this item. If there's anyone who would like to address the council, please come forward. This time, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance?
So moved.
Motion by Councilmember Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Thompson. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending and updating the Code of Ordinances of the City of Texarkana, Texas, Chapter 105, Buildings and Construction, Article 2, Division 3, Residential Code, Sections 105-98 through 105-100, with the 2024 edition of the International Residential Code, including certain modifications, deletions, and appendices, providing for publication, providing for repealer and severability clauses, containing legislative findings, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ordinance passes. Item number 3, ordinance number 2026-011, adopting the 2024 International Energy Conservation Code, including certain amendments, modifications, deletions, and appendix. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council, please come forward. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance?
So move. Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Matlock and a second by Councilmember Hart. Ms. Evans, the caption.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Texarkana, Texas, Chapter 105, Buildings and Construction, Article 2, Division 4, Energy Code, Section 105-129, with the 2024 edition of the International Energy Conservation Code, including certain modifications, deletions, and appendices, providing for publication, providing for repealer and severability clauses, containing legislative findings, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ordinance passes. Item number 4, Ordinance number 2026-012, adopting the 2023 National Electrical Code, including certain amendments, modifications, deletions, and appendix. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council, please come forward. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance?
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilmember Matlock. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Hart. Ms. Evans, the caption.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Texarkana, Texas, Chapter 105, Buildings and Construction, Article 3, Electrical Code, Sections 105-159, 105-160, 105-168, 105-169, 105-170, 105-172, and 105-181, with the 2023 edition of the National Electrical Code, including certain modifications, deletions, and appendices, providing for publication, providing for repealer and severability clauses, containing legislative findings, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ordinance passes. Now move along to item number, I believe we're on item number 5. Ordinance number 2026-013, adopting the 2024 International Plumbing Code, International Fuel Gas Code, and International Mechanical Code, including certain amendments, modifications, deletions, and appendix. Is there, if anyone would like to address the council, please come forward. Not seeing anyone coming forward at this time, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance?
So moved.
Motion by Councilmember Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Thompson. I tell you, all these codes, they just all kind of run together, don't they? So, Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Texarkana, Texas, Chapter 105, Buildings and Construction, Article 4, Plumbing and Gas Fitting, Sections 105-256 through 105-262, and Sections 105-264 through 105-265, with the 2024 version of the International Plumbing Code, International Fuel Gas Code, and International Mechanical Code, including certain amendments, modifications, deletions, and appendices, providing for publication, providing for repealer and severability clauses, containing legislative findings, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ordinance passes. Item number 6, ordinance number 2026-023, amending the Code of Ordinances, Chapter 140, Zoning, Article 7, Supplemental Regulations, Section 140 through 179, and adding Section 140-183, Storage Shipping Containers, and Section 140-184, Shipping Container Homes and Tiny Homes, and amending Chapter 105, Buildings and Construction, Article 2, Division 3, Residential Code by adding Section 105-101, Construction with certain zoning regulations. At this time, I declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council, please come forward. At this time, I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance?
So moved.
Motion by Councilmember Hart. Is there a second?
Second.
Is that Mr. Davis?
Yes, sir.
Okay. A second by Councilmember Davis. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending Chapter 140, Zoning, Article 7, Supplemental Regulation by adding definitions to Section 140-179, Special Definitions, Section 140-183, Storage Shipping Containers, and Section 140-184, Shipping Container Homes and Tiny Homes, and amending Chapter 105, Buildings and Construction, Article 2, Building, Residential, and Energy Technical Codes, Division 3, Residential Code, by adding Section 105-101, Construction with certain zoning regulations, providing for publication, providing for superseding and severability clauses, containing legislative findings, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ordinance passes. Item number 7, ordinance number 2026-030, amending Chapter 130 of the Code of Ordinances by adding Article 6, right-of-way work and master fee list to include a right-of-way construction permit fee. At this time, I declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council, I believe Dusty Hensley would like to share some information with the council as well. Public hearing is open. Good evening, Dusty.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. If you recall at the last meeting, I made reference to that we did receive some late comments from a couple of utilities after we had posted the original agenda. We did receive comments from Summit and SWEPCO, and those have been attached to your packet. And I've also attached a summary of the changes that we made based on those comments in a meeting we had with SWEPCO. So with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions that y'all have on the ordinance.
Any questions for Dusty? Okay, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Public hearing is still open on this item. If anyone else would like to address the council, please come forward. At this time, I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance?
So moved.
Motion by Councilmember Metter. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Davis. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending Chapter 130, Streets and Sidewalks of the City Code of Ordinances, Land Development Code, by adding Article 6, Right-of-Way Work, amending the master fee list for permit fee, containing repealer, severability, and superseding clauses, containing legislative findings, providing for publication, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ordinance passes. We'll now move along to item number 8, ordinance number 2026-035, granting a specific use permit to allow one additional use of a daycare on Lot 4, Block 9, Sherwood Edition, located at 2907 Sunset Road in Ward 4. Bobby Collins, owner, Kayla Gales, agent. And just as a note, council, this item will require a 3/4 vote of the affirmative in order for this item to be approved. Mr. Lewis, that would be 5 votes, correct? Okay, 5 of the 6 votes in the affirmative for this item to pass due to the decision made by the Planning and Zoning Commission. At this time, I declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council, if you'll please come forward and state your name for the record. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. My name is Kayla Gales. I also have some packets for you guys if you want to look over them while I speak. I'm here today asking for approval to operate a small home daycare, state regulated, in my home. 8 children, 3 of them being my own. My program will operate in full compliance with the Texas Administration Code, Title 26, Chapter 747. I know that some of my neighbors have concern about traffic, but I have a policy in place where the parents will have to drop off in my driveway. They will also have to sign a form stating that they understand that there will be no drop-offs on the street. I have a fenced-in backyard, and I have a back door that leads directly into my fenced-in backyard. Safety is my number one concern, and I even called the Texarkana Police Station to see if there was anything going on in our neighborhood that I was unaware of. And within the last year, we've only had 30 calls, and only 2 of those calls resulted in police reports being made. I would like to add that what I'm trying to do is not going to be invasive to my neighbors in any way. In fact, they will not even know that I'm having a daycare. The only difference is they won't see the neighborhood kids playing in my front yard because I will be following the state codes and policies.
Ms. Gills, I've got one question for you. So what do you anticipate your hours of operation will be as far as time of day and days of the week?
7 to 5:30, Monday through Friday, and on the weekends I would do 7 to 3 p.m.
Okay, on the week, does that include Saturday and Sunday or just Saturday?
Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, I like to add, I have community support that I have attached in the packet, letters from parents who could benefit from this attached in the packet, and some support from some of the neighbors.
Any questions for Ms. Gales from Mr. Davis?
How many total staff will you have?
I will not have any staff. I will be the only one.
Okay.
And how many children?
8 children, 3 being my own.
So 5
Yeah, 5.
additional.
What age range are they? Do they vary or
They will vary because they're gonna go off my kids' ages too, which is 10, 9, and 2. So the ages will vary.
Any other questions for Ms. Gales? Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate your time. Ms. Evans, I will provide you with my copy for the official record. Okay? All right. Public hearing is still open on this item. If anyone else would like to address the council, if you'll please come forward and state your name for the record. Good evening.
Hi, my name is Amy Baker, and I'm the owner of 2905 Sunset Road.
And I'm Barbara McCarthy. I'm the owner of 2904 Sunset Road.
Thank you all for being here this evening.
So our main concerns hinge on 3 aspects of safety. The first one is traffic. The apartment complex at the end of the street has people coming all hours of the day and night, 7 days a week, very, very, very quickly. They speed. They spend about 5 minutes or less at the apartment complex, and then they leave. And these are non-residents. I can't, officially speculate on what they're doing, but it's not the same people every time. But they drive extremely fast. As an adult walking in my own neighborhood, even during the day, I've almost been hit by cars several times. I've lived here since 2011, and just people do not pay attention at all. It's a very, very dangerous street. There are interruptions in the sidewalk. As an adult, I know how to navigate that. If I was a child, I would have a very hard time considering the close calls I had as an adult paying attention. The second issue is there may be a rule that people can only drop off their kids at certain, staggered hours, but I don't see any way to guarantee that that rule will be enforced because there's no parking on our side of the street. It's posted by the city. And so there's just a one single straight driveway for the house at 2907. And if there's not enough parking at the house, I foresee people parking on the street, which comes into the issue. They're going to have to park on the opposite side of the street, which means the little kids will have to cross the street, again, the street where everybody speeds and doesn't pay attention. And so I see parking as a big issue. Currently, just with the residents next door, there are people parking in not just the driveway, but in like the yard itself. So I'm thinking if we add more people, I don't see any way to guarantee that, for example, when I have to get up and my 2 kids go to different schools in opposite parts of the district, my husband has to take one direction, I have to take one another. There's not even enough time in the drop-off lines for one of us to take both. If we're blocked in, that's going to make both my husband and I are TISD employees, so it's going to make both of us late and both of our kids late to school if our driveway is blocked. We don't have time to go and try to convince someone to move their car in the morning. And then the third issue is just general safety. Now, I realize there may not be a lot of incidents necessarily reported to the police, but I can tell you from living there since 2011, there are an awful lot of things that happen, whether they're reported or not, and I think people are sort of accustomed to what happens at the apartments. I've seen the SWAT team called on the house on the opposite side, so not my side of 2907, but the opposite side, like the actual SWAT team. I've seen kids in, not 2907, but the house on the opposite side of it, literally shooting like projectile fireworks out of the windows horizontally of the house. There are a lot of things that happen that may or may not result in someone calling the police, but it's largely because people sort of expect that in our neighborhood, which is sort of sad to say. But I don't see a way to keep this number of kids safe with the way things are right now. So those are my concerns.
Thank you.
I've been a resident on this street for 59 years, and I just don't want to see anything going down.
Anything else, ladies, you'd like to share?
I do want to mention that on our petition, we only needed to have, I believe it was 20 or 25% of the owners within 200 feet of the property, but we had almost every single owner on the petition. I have it if you guys need the hard copy.
Anything else you'd like to share? your time. Public hearing is still open on this item. If anyone else would like to address the council, please come forward. Yes, ma'am, Ms. Gales.
I would just like to add again that my driveway will be the main drop-off. They will not drop off anywhere else. And like I said, I have a fenced-in backyard, and safety is my number one concern, and every child around me is safe.
Ms. Gales?
Mr. Davis has a question for you, ma'am.
If I could, what's the maximum allowed by the state of Texas that you could care for?
12.
Okay. And would you accept the stipulation being set at 8? Okay.
Yes. Let me add this. This is just a step to my bigger goal. My bigger goal is to open up a center one day. So this is a very crucial step that I have to take.
So you're 10, 9, and 2, they're in, what, 2, 9, but the 9 and the 10-year-old, they go to school?
Yes.
So during the day, you have, what is that, 16? Wait, 5? Okay.
Yes, correct.
Thank you, Ms. Gales. Public hearing is still open. If anyone else would like to address the council, please come forward. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Council, let me kind of point a point of clarification here, the way that the ordinance is written. So we would be calling for a motion and a second, okay? And then if you support the item, you will vote yes. If you do not support the item, then you will vote no. Okay, so any questions on that? Okay, all right, is there a motion for approval of the ordinance?
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilmember Matlock. Is there a second? Second by,
Mayor, I have an amendment.
okay,
I want to add the stipulation to limit the number of children to 8.
we in compliance with that, Mr. Lewis?
Well, that is going to be an amended motion to the second, after Ms. Hart. Clarification, Councilmember Davis, is that inclusive of the owner's children?
Yes, that is inclusive.
Okay.
Okay, so we need to have a motion to approve his amended
Need a
amendment?
second for Mr. Davis's amendment.
Okay, so Mr. Davis has made an amended motion, so we would need a second to his amended motion. Okay, we have a second by Councilmember Thompson. Okay, Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending the zoning map showing the location, boundary, and use of certain property by the granting of specific use permit number S-821 to allow one additional use of a daycare on Lot 4, Block 9, Sherwood Addition, located at 2907 Sunset Road in the city of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, containing a repealer clause, containing a severability clause, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries unanimously, which means the item passes. All right. Ms. Gills, best of luck to you with your daycare. This time move along to item number 9. Items 9 and 10 are related. Item number 9, ordinance number 2026-036, rezoning an approximate .62 acre tract of land being tract 65, J.W. Johnson Headright Survey, A-308, located at 2610 Page Street in Ward 1, from Single Family 2 to Single Family 3. Sharita Young and Trishay, not sure, Hoskins owners, and Connie Young agent. At this time, I declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council, please come forward. This time, I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance? Motion by Councilmember Page. Is there a second?
Second.
Was that Ms. Matlock? Second by Councilmember Matlock. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending the zoning ordinance of the City of Texarkana, Texas, by rezoning on an approximate 0.62 acre tract of land, being tract 65, J.W. Johnson, HRS A-308, located at 2610 Page Street in the city of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, from Single Family 2 to Single Family 3, containing a repealer clause, containing a severability clause, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ordinance passes unanimously. Item 10 is ordinance number 2026-037, granting a specific use permit to allow the location of a HUD code manufactured home on an approximate .62 acre tract of land being tract 65, J.W. Johnson Headright Survey A-308, located at 2610 Page Street in Ward 1. Sharita Young and Trisha Hoskins, owners, and Connie Young, agent. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing open on this item. If there's anyone who would like to address the council, if you'll please come forward and state your name for the record. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance?
So moved.
Motion by Councilmember Matlock. Is there a second?
Second.
I think I heard Mr. Davis there. Just a barely bit ahead of you, Ms. Hart. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay.
That was actually Councilmember.
Oh, was it Metter? Okay, all right. Well, Councilmember Metter. Okay, I apologize. All right, Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending the zoning map showing the location, boundary, and use of certain property by the granting of specific use permit number S-822 for the location of a HUD code manufactured home on an approximate 0.62 acre tract of land, being tract 65, J.W. Johnson HRS A-308, located at 2610 Page Street in the city of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, containing a repealer clause, containing a severability clause, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ordinance passes. This concludes our public hearings portion of the agenda. We'll now move along to the city manager's report. Dr. Orr?
Good evening, Mayor and Council again. Just a few updates to pass along to you tonight. First off, we have our economic development update. The first quarter report is out. And that highlights our economic development activity, including new businesses, residential and commercial construction permits, along with key economic development initiatives. This issue highlights the work of the Assembly Line, which is a membership-based incubator space, accelerator space that's currently being constructed downtown that we anticipate to open late this year. Copies can be found online at texarkanatexas.gov/economic development. We also have copies at your desk and copies available downstairs at City Hall. Also, just wanted to recognize our new Director of Community Development and Health, Daphne Ryan, who you heard from earlier tonight. Daphne brings nearly 2 decades of experience with her serving the city. She's served in various roles, including environmental services, city planner, grants administrator, and so she has a long track record and history of economic development and work with our Brownfields program and a number of other programs throughout the city. So please help me in congratulating Daphne in her new role. And then finally, just wanted to recap this weekend, Saturday specifically, we had our Keep Texarkana Beautiful annual spring cleanup. So thank you to all the residents and volunteers that came out. We had a number of projects around the city, the Beverly Community Garden, the Rose Hill Community Garden, Liberty Islo, Grady T. Wallace Park, Highland Park, and Newtown neighborhoods. And I personally had a chance to participate with the Rose Hill Community Garden. And I think we had over 50 people out at one time or the other throughout the Saturday. So I really appreciate all the work there. And last but not least, we have Robbie Robertson, who has stayed to the very end of the meeting for us for this announcement. But he is leaving us. He's officially leaving the building, as we like to say. So we have a retirement reception for him scheduled for next Tuesday, April 21st, in this room from 4 to 6 p.m. So please come by. We'll have public remarks about 4:30. There may or may not be some videos and some pictures that we have collected from Robbie over the years. So please stop by and wish him well in his retirement. That's it.
Well, Robbie, we want to thank you very much for your many years of dedicated service. You've dealt with all kinds of people over those years. We'll leave it at that. So anyway, but just want to thank you for your service and wish you the best of luck in retirement. Is there anything you would like to share with the group? Not a thing. Okay. Gave you an opportunity, but he chose not to do that. So anyway, but I appreciate you certainly have had a heart and a passion for our Parks Recreation Department, and so just want to thank you for your many contributions to our city and a lot of the great things that we have available to the community and to our citizens, and especially in the area of athletics and sporting activities can be related to you for the work that you did on that. So thank you very much. We really appreciate it. At this time, move along to administrative comments. Any comments from the council this evening? Council, I need to check one thing with you as far as checking your calendars. We do have a proposed waste management workshop, and a couple of dates that we had some conflicts with some of these dates, so we narrowed it down to Monday, April the 27th at either noon or 6 p.m. or the following Monday, May the 4th at noon or 6 p.m. So do you happen to know which, we have a consensus on when?
So Mayor, I'll just interject. The issue was, I think, May 4th was what everyone selected, but we have differing times. So we
Okay.
have some that can make it at noon, some, it's roughly split equally between those that can make it at noon or those that can make it at 6. We can offer Zoom.
Yeah, May 4th that evening, I'm not available.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Metter? Okay. Okay. Okay, well, Ms. Hart, what, is noon work for you that day? On Monday, May the 4th. Okay, okay, y'all can probably coordinate that. Okay. Okay, all right. Okay, Monday, May 4th at noon. Okay, okay, all right. Okay, we'll make that work. So, all right, any other comments from the council? Yes, ma'am, here, City Hall. Okay, all right. If not, at this time, I will entertain a motion for adjournment. Anything else, David, from the city?
No further comments.
Okay, no further comments, okay. Is there a motion for adjournment? Motion by Councilmember, was that Ms. Hart? Ms. Matlock. Motion for adjournment by Councilmember Matlock, second by Councilmember Hart. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. All right, we are adjourned. Thank you all for joining us this evening. Hope you have a great rest of your evening.